Okay, so before discussing ano nga bang problem to? Wait. This is exercise 4-3, no? Wait lang, ayaw maalis nitong wait lang. Paano ba alisin to? Okay, yan. Okay. So before we discuss exercise 4-3, konting correction muna. I believe itong problem na to kasi ang binigay niya is I think originally budgeted uh direct labor hours ata. And then, napansin ko lang kasi na, wait, let me use my pang-highlight dito. Okay, let's have the marker. Okay. Okay, so napansin ko lang kasi dito is, ang binigay niya dito sa baba is production for the month. So, hindi kasi siya bangga dun sa given na budgeted direct labor hours. So, para magkabangga sila, baguhin na lang natin sa halip na budgeted direct labor hours, we put budgeted production. Okay? So, let's start. Given sa problem na to, yung budget for the fixed at saka para sa variable overhead, ito yung mga amount niya. Okay? And then we are asked to compute for ano pa bang binigay? Ito pala, no? Yun nga, production for the month is 90% of the budget. Tapos, uh, tapos ang actual overhead na na-incur is 350,000. Okay? So we are asked to compute for the predetermined factory overhead rate and the under or over applied factory overhead. Okay? So, alisin ko muna yung mga highlight dito to avoid confusion. Okay, so unahin natin yung predetermined factory overhead rate. So what you will do is yung given na dalawang budgeted amounts which are 245,000 and 180,000, yan yung ating fixed at saka variable. Pag-addin mo lang sila to obtain the total budgeted overhead. Let me zoom in for a little para mas makita. Ayan. So, total budgeted overhead is 425,000 and then you divide that by the budgeted production, which according to our problem is 85,000. So, upon dividing those two amounts, 425 divided by 85, you will get your budgeted overhead rate per unit na 5 pesos. So, nakuha na natin yung isang requirement nung ating problem, 5 pesos per unit. So, sunod na requirement niya is, ano ba yun? Wait lang, nawala. Ayun, under or over applied factory overhead rate. So, para malaman natin yan, kailangan muna nating malaman magkano ba yung applied. So, what we know is yung actual production is 90% of the budget. So, ilan ba yon? Yan, kaya lang, mali. Yan, dito. Okay, so, um, our budgeted, sorry, direct labor hours pa yung nakalagay dito. Let me correct that. That's budgeted production. Okay, so our budgeted production is 85,000. So, multiply mo yan sa 90% to get the actual production. So, actual production for the year is 76,500. Then, imumultiply mo sa 76,500 yung iyong predetermined or budgeted overhead rate per unit na 5. So, that will give you applied overhead of 382,500. You compare 382,500 sa actual overhead na 350,000. So, you will have overhead variance, no? Over applied, 32,500. When we say over applied, yung overhead na ipinasok mo sa work in process, which is 382,500, ay mas mataas dun sa actual overhead na na-incur mo, which is 350,000. So, we call it over applied overhead. Siyempre, pagka baliktad, no? Kunwari, yung actual is 350, tapos yung applied is sorry, baliktad nga pala, no? Kung yung actual is 382,500 and then yung applied is 350, no? Kumbaga baliktarin natin yung dalawang amount, you will have the same amount of variance, 32,500 pero under applied overhead. Okay, so nasagot na natin yung pangalawang requirement, no? Over applied. 32,500. Now, let me take this opportunity para gumamit ng T accounts, no? Though hindi yata required dito yung wala siyang hinihinging entry for the disposition of the over or under applied factory overhead o tinatawag na nating overhead variance. Pero I will use this problem na din to demonstrate paano yung journal entries. I think later meron tayong mga problems na ganun yung hihingin. Okay? So I have meron akong T account dito. Ayan. So ang pangalan nito is manufacturing overhead. So using the situation ng problem, ano nga ba yung nangyari, no? Kung gagamitan natin ng T account, ano nga ba yung itsura ng T account dito sa ating problem? Our actual overhead will be placed on the debit side, which is 350,000. Why is it so? Okay? Hindi ko alam kung nakikita nyo yung comment na, ayan, yung lumalabas pag hino-hover ko yung ano, yung, tingnan natin kung mapapalaki natin yung comment. Wait. Hindi na nakikita yung comment. Wait lang. Ayaw na. Sige. Okay. Sorry for that, ano. Pero, dito ba kita yung comment? Ayan. Okay. I hope nakikita sa screen, no? Pero, bakit yung actual overhead natin is nasa debit side? If you recall yung ating lessons ng journal entries, di ba? Kapag nag incur tayo ng overhead, we debit manufacturing overhead instead of the expense accounts, no? As long as factory related yung expense. So, we debit it to manufacturing overhead. And then credit various accounts, no? Credits cash, accounts payable, accumulated depreciation, etc. So that explains why yung ating actual overhead is on the or in the on the debit side of the T account. Okay? Samantala, yung ating applied overhead will be found on the credit side. Ayan, naka-credit yung 382,500. Why is it so? If you recall yung ating yung ating lesson, 'di ba? Pag nag-a-apply tayo ng overhead, we debit work in process and credit manufacturing overhead. Okay? So that explains why yung 382,500 is on the credit side of our T account. Now, another thing that I want to emphasize here is in our previous lessons we use actual costing. Actual costing, 'di ba? In actual costing, 'di ba, ang ginagawa natin is kung magkano yung sorry for that. Kung magkano yung laman nung actual or kung magkano yung actual overhead, yun din yung ina-apply natin sa work in process. So ibig sabihin, kung mag-actual costing tayo dito sa problem natin, magkakaroon tayo ng entry para sa application ng overhead na debit work in process 350 and credit manufacturing overhead for 350. Pero in our problem and in our chapter, we are now using normal costing, no? 'Di ba? Pag normal costing, we use a predetermined overhead rate para mag-apply ng overhead. Kaya ang nangyayari is very seldom na mag-equal yung debit at credit side ng manufacturing overhead mo, no? Kasi hindi mag-equal yung actual at saka applied overhead. Okay? So yun lang yung gusto ko pang i-emphasize dito, no? Dahil nasa normal costing na tayo. Now, returning to our problem, yun nga, hindi pantay yung ating debit at credit ng manufacturing overhead. So magkakaroon siya ng balance. In this situation, our balance will be on the credit side. Yun nga yung tinatawag nating overhead variance na 32,500. Kapag yung balance mo is nasa credit side, maraming pwedeng itawag dyan. So enumerate natin dito. We call it over-applied. Wait lang. Nakaano pala to. Okay. Anong tawag natin dito? We can call that over-applied overhead. Okay. Sometimes we call that favorable variance. So, bakit siya tinatawag na favorable? Kasi yung actual na gastos mo, which is 350 in our situation, mas maliit kaysa dun sa in-apply mo sa work in process, which means nakatipid ka kasi nga yung actual na gastos mas maliit dun sa inaasahan mo. Kasi itong 382,500 which I am highlighting with yellow is nakabase sa budget. So 'di ba, sa actual na buhay, no, kapag yung actual na gastos mo is mas maliit kaysa dun sa budget, so ibig sabihin nakatipid ka, no? Kaya favorable variance yung tawag natin minsan sa situation natin. We also call that credit variance. Ayan. Okay? So, tinatawag natin siyang credit variance because the variance, as you can see here, is on the credit side. So, maganda na alam natin yung iba't ibang term na ginagamit so that if we encounter them sa mga problems is hindi tayo malilito. So, over-applied overhead is also known as favorable variance and is also known as credit variance. Okay? So, let's continue. Burahin ko lang yung aking mga pinagsusulat. Yan. Okay. So, ngayon itong variance, itong 32,500, kino-close siya, no? Kapag siya ay immaterial, when we say immaterial, ibig sabihin hindi siya masyadong malaki, we close that to cost of goods sold. So, paano yung journal entry niya? Okay? So again, 'di ba yung manufacturing overhead natin nasa credit side yung balance. So para ma-close siya, ide-debit mo siya. So we have debit manufacturing overhead 32,500 and then credit cost of goods sold, no? Ipapasok mo yung variance sa cost of goods sold 32,500. So in effect, binabawasan mo yung cost of goods sold mo, no? Kasi nga favorable yung variance. Now, what if immaterial, no? Ay, sorry. What if material or malaki yung balance? So, hindi mo lang siya sa cost of goods sold ipapasok, no? Lahat nung inventory accounts na may overhead ay makakakuha ng share. So, sa halip na cost of goods sold lang, may idadagdag pa tayo dito. Okay? Kung halimbawa, material, yung variance, ang maghahati-hati dun sa variance ay cost of goods sold, tapos work in process, at saka finished goods. Yan. Sila yung maghahati-hati dun sa 32,500. So, hindi na to magiging 32,500, no? Ganyan lang siya, no? Iba-iba yung amount niya is ganyan, XXXX. Pero yung sum ng tatlo is 32,500. Hindi lang natin siya pwedeng i-apply dito sa problem na to kasi wala tayong balances for work in process and finished goods. Maybe in some other problems, ma-apply natin to. Okay? So, pero for now, no, i-assume natin yung 32,500 is not significant or immaterial. Kaya, ang makakakuha lang ng share dun sa variance ay yung cost of goods sold. Okay? Now, let's have another hypothetical situation. What if yung itsura nung manufacturing overhead account mo is this? Ayan. Pinagbaligtad ko yung amount. Ang actual, which is 382,500, no, yung actual overhead, gusto ko gumamit ng red dito. Okay. Is mas maliit or mas malaki rather dun sa applied overhead or yung overhead na ipinasok mo sa cost of goods sold or sa work in process rather. Okay? So, let's have a little recall no bakit nagkaganito yung ating T account. Bakit may debit na 382,500? So, kasi meron tayong journal entry before this happened. No? Meron tayong journal entry na debit manufacturing overhead 382,500 and credit various accounts 382,500 para sa recording ng actual overhead. Okay? So, ayan, nakikita nyo naman dyan sa comment, no? Hindi lang masyadong perfecto yung indention kasi, nasa comment nga kasi siya, no? So, debit, manufacturing overhead, credit, various accounts, no? 382,500. And then, bakit merong credit na 350? Yan yung yan yung kalahati nung entry natin for the application of overhead sa work in process. The actual entry is actually debit work in process for 350,000 and credit manufacturing overhead for 350,000. Kaya may credit na 350 dito. Okay? So ngayon, may variance ulit tayong 32,500 but this time you will find it dun sa debit side. Okay? Alisin ko lang tong highlight na to. Okay. So your variance is on the debit side, 32,500. So ang tawag natin dito is over or sorry, under applied overhead. Lagyan natin dito. Under applied overhead. Yan, i-block ko lang. No, yan yung tawag natin diyan, no? We call it under applied kasi, 'di ba? Yung actual na gastos mo na 382,500 is mas malaki dun sa 350, no? Hindi mo na-apply lahat yung actual cost mo. Hindi mo lahat na ipasok sa work in process. Kaya tinatawag nating under-applied overhead. Another term for this is debit variance. Okay? Okay, for the reason na yung variance mo is nasa debit side ng account. Another term for this is unfavorable variance. Why is it unfavorable? Kasi yung actual na gastos mo, which is 382,500, ay nag-exceed dun sa budget mo na 350. Di ba? Remember, itong applied overhead no, na 350, balikan lang natin yung solution natin kanina. Ay, hindi pala yan. No? Iniba nga pala natin. Okay. Binaligtad nga pala natin yung situation ng problem. Pero anyway, itong 350 na to, na applied overhead is based on budget. Kasi di ba nagko-compute ka muna ng predetermined overhead rate para makapag-apply ng overhead. So ito yung budget mo, yung 350. So nag-exceed yung actual na gastos sa budget. Kaya ang tawag natin is unfavorable variance. Okay? So ngayon, paano siya i-dispose yung variance? Again, kung insignificant yung ating variance, is sa cost of goods sold mo lang siya ipapasok. So, di ba yung manufacturing overhead mo at this point is merong 32,500 na debit balance. So, ngayon, para ma-zero siya, i-credit mo siya. So, you credit manufacturing overhead for 32,500 at ipapasok mo siya or i-debit mo siya sa cost of goods sold na 32,500. So in effect, dinagdagan mo yung cost of goods sold mo, yung expense mo na 32,500 dahil nga unfavorable yung variance. Now, merong mga problems na ah dalawa yung overhead account. Isang applied at isang actual. So, ayan. So, hindi naman siya magpo-post ng special na complication. Ang mangyayari lang is magkakahiwalay yung debit at credit dun sa overhead. Kung babalikan natin yung taas mo, 'di ba magkasama dito? Ayan, let me eto to. Yan. So, 'di ba dito is magkasama yung actual at applied mo sa isang T account lang. Kung gagamit tayo ng dalawang T account, magkakahiwalay sila, no? Yung actual mo will go here, ayan, at yung applied mo will go here. So, dalawa yung account mo. And wala namang problema doon, nagkahiwalay lang naman yung debit at credit part niya. May iba lang ng konti yung disposition ng variance. Okay? So, itong dalawang to, no, yung dalawang T account na yan is pareho silang temporary account na dapat ma-zero out or ma-close at the end of the accounting year. So, how do you dispose again yung ating variance? So, si actual overhead, dahil may naka-debit siya, para ma-zero siya, i-credit mo siya. So, asa na yung aking entry dito? Wait lang Ay, nandito pala sa kanan. Sorry. Ayan, eto pala. Okay. So, si actual overhead, naka-debit siya. So, i-credit mo siya. So, siguro zoom out tayong konti. I hope makikita pa rin sa screen mo to. Okay, nasa na tayo? Here. Ayan. So, si actual overhead will be credited for 350. Ayan. Ganun din pala. Sige, zoom in na lang tayo. Ayan. Balikan natin Ito yung actual overhead mo na 350 na nasa debit side. So, kung close mo siya, i-credit mo siya. Ayan. And then, si applied overhead, which we see here, ay merong credit. No, nasa credit yung balance niya, ide-debit mo siya. So, ito siya. Debit mo siya dito. Ayan. So, syempre, obviously, hindi balance. Kaya, magiging balancing figure si cost of goods sold. So, ayan. 332, excuse me, 500. Naka-credit siya. Now, kung i-compare natin siya doon sa taas, nasan na yung entry natin sa taas? Eto. Ayan. Eto siya. No? Ang nangyari lang, magkaiba sila dito. No? Sa halip na debit manufacturing overhead 32,500, nahati siya. No? Eto na siya. Ayan. Ayan. Eto yung yung debit na manufacturing overhead 32,500 sa taas, nahati lang siya into debit and credit, dalawa. 382,500, 350. Pero the credit is the same. Cost of goods sold 32,500. Ito siya. Ayan, ito yung kanina. Ayan. Ayan. Okay? So, yan. Now, baliktan natin yung situation. Let's have another set of two accounts here sa baba. Yung actual at applied. What if, ganito naman yung situation, yung actual mo is 382,500 and then yung applied mo is 350. So again, we call this under applied overhead. Ano? Kasi yung in-apply mo na 350, eto, ay mas maliit dun sa actual na gastos na 382,500. So hindi mo na ipasok lahat sa work in process yung actual na overhead, kaya under applied overhead. So how do we dispose yung variance natin na 32,500? So si actual overhead, may debit siya, kaya pag kinlose mo siya, i-credit mo siya. Actual overhead, ito, ayan, 382,500. Si applied naman, as you can see here, credit yung balance niya para ma-zero out siya or ma-close, i-debit mo siya. So debit applied overhead for 350. Ayan. So, yung balancing figure mo is yung cost of goods sold. So, madadagdagan yung cost of goods sold dahil unfavorable nga yung variance. So, debit cost of goods sold 32,500. Yung kamatch niya sa situation natin kanina is this one. Ito. Yan. Okay? Pero again, sa halip na credit manufacturing overhead, dahil isa lang yung overhead mo dito sa situation na to, dito sa baba, pag meron kang dalawang overhead account, eto yon. Ayan. Sa halip na 32,500 credit, nahati siya. May debit na 350, may credit na 382,500. Ayan.